Happy 2023, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great, blessed new year. This is my review, my recap of Tyler Perry Sisters. And I haven't done a review in a while, so this is going all the way back to the beginning of season 5, but it's going to be really quick. So it's the beginning of season 5, episode 1 through 10. Tyler Perry Sisters, which is really good. I'm really enjoying it, and I hope you guys have too. So I was able to get caught up. Now, on this season, we started out with Gary, who's teamed up with Hayden as his lawyer to sue Andy for all that stuff he bought her. Remember, he bought her a Bentley, the penthouse, a very luxurious penthouse, which she turned around and did the do with Robin in the living room, the front room, as we country people would say. And no, Gary was spying across the way with his telescope. He's such a fool. I mean, he really thought it's as if he really thought he had Andy in a fishbowl, like for him just to watch her every move. So anyway, with him trying to team up with Hayden to see how he could sue Andy, um, Andy comes across them sitting in the law office together, and of course she confronts Gary, and I don't exactly recall how she got back into his good graces, but Gary decides to just let excuse me, let Andy keep the things that she had because she did give up her apartment and her other things because he had asked her to, and so he somehow came to the terms to just let her keep the things, and they got back on the friendly tip. And of course they started back sleeping together, and Andy, with her still sleeping with Gary, she came across some documents, and that's how she was able to put two and two together that Hayden and Gary are planning to have Robin kicked out of the law firm. Something with his partners, and we'll find out more as the season continues. So also, Hayden and Gary, the little bitches that they are, they let Robin know about all the people that Andy had been with, as far as around the office, including the building janitor. And Robin, he got into his feelings and being jealous and everything. So he decides to treat Andy like a trash whore, talking to her all type of ways, and letting her know that he knows the tea about her sleeping with even the janitor, the guy that cleans the building. Like Andy really has a reputation around the office. And so of course Andy is embarrassed by that. She's embarrassed to even be confronted by that, and also the way that he's treating her. So of course she gets in her feelings, and she has her boo-hoo moment and everything, and it's like Robin only want to talk to her about business, and he's trying to dismiss her and letting her know that he's the boss and she's an employee and that she needs to get to work. He even makes a compliment about, I think, one of her cases where he's saying that it could have been a better job, making it seem like she's half-assing around at the law office. So it's really crazy. Like, oh wow, okay then, Andy, you need to wrap it up, girl, because you have really been out there in these streets and in your sheets, honey. So now we know Maurice was talking sideways to Q about the bank robbery, and Maurice didn't know that Q was setting him up for the downfall, right? So that low down dirty Q, he had it set up where he recorded Maurice. Maurice was talking really stupid as he does, like, yeah, we did rob the bank. Yeah, if you say so. Little things like that. But it was enough for Q to record and take to the police station, and they locked Maurice and Sabrina's ass up, right? And nobody don't know where they at. Like, nobody don't even know they in jail. They just been swept up and taken to jail. All right. So Karen, I really don't even care to report on her. Anyway, she had like a little bleeding. She ended up in the hospital. She's pregnant. She don't know who the daddy is. It's between Zach and Aaron. However, her mom finds out she's at the hospital, and her mom comes and she finds out the whole situation about Karen having two. Well, Karen is in the midst of being pregnant and not knowing who the baby daddy is. And so her mom is finding out everything that's been going on and knowing that the stress of this whole situation and with Karen being head over heels in love with Zach. So she's saying, even though Zach is with Fatima, her mom is there like trying to get things calmed down. So once she's released from the hospital, she's placed on bed rest, and her mom encourages her to write out her feelings for Zach and Aaron, and then she invites both of the guys over to Karen's place so they can talk things out and try to hash it out. And Karen, she really let them know her feelings, and in the midst of her, well, she did finish her feelings, but then Fatima, I love Fatima. So Fatima shows up and she also shares her feelings and her thoughts with Karen, about the whole situation. And she pretty much was just said that, you know, Karen had the old Zach and he was his way with Karen, and now she has Zach and he's his way with her. And that, like, whatever's going on with Karen and the baby, it's not going to deter Fatima from being with Zach, as long as that's, Zach is being on the up and up with her. So I'm team Fatima no matter what. And so Karen's mom is encouraging her to try to find out the date of conception. Then maybe she can really figure out who the child's father is and she can move forward with that. Karen's mom also shares that she thinks Aaron is a little too good to be true, for him to be a preacher man in the way that he's carrying himself around and everything. And he really seems to really want to be there for Karen. And he even gives Karen his cell phone unlocked so she can go through it. I don't know the point of that. But Karen and her mom both think that he's a little too good to be true. I'm just like, what the hell are his kids? Because I believe when she met him, he was married and something about the wife killed herself. All right, so where are the children? Where are your children while you're trying to be with Karen, to take care of Karen and Zach's possible baby? Because you don't know if the baby's yours, Aaron. I don't know. Kind of strange. So maybe more come to that. I hope Tyler Perry didn't leave all of that out, because it's better when you make it make sense, Tyler Perry. Make it make sense, okay? Because it's not making sense right now. So it's like my brain always goes to the side, like, okay, well, what about this? And where is this? Yeah, so where are those damn kids? And how can he be so easily over his wife that killed herself in Karen's salon? Okay, so let's see what else happened on this show. Um, Kevin's at Maurice's apartment. He is Maurice's roommate, but he is not on the lease. He comes back to the apartment. He finds Q there, and Q, he's like having a party. He got this hole there and that hole there. He's all up in Maurice's bed, sleeping in Maurice's bed, doing the do in Maurice's bed. And Kevin's telling him he's got to leave. He better go. It's just like the whole repetitive thing over and over again. You're leaving. You're getting out of here. And Q's not going no damn well. Q's cooking breakfast, offering Kevin breakfast, offering Kevin sex, doing whatever he wants to do, and just telling Kevin he ain't going nowhere and ain't nothing Kevin can do about it, because Kevin is not on the lease himself. So Kevin does not know that Maurice is in jail. Kevin continues to get phone calls, unknown calls to his cell phone, and he's rejecting it because he don't recognize the number. But that is Maurice calling from the jailhouse. Oh well. So we later on also find out that Q has a job at the airport, and he's working there with Danny. And Danny doesn't know that Q at the airport, he's using his legal name, Quincy. So she doesn't know anything about Q being the person that tried to rob the bank or robbed the bank that Sabrina and Maurice work at. She doesn't know any of that information, or that he's the person that's been staying at Maurice's place. And she doesn't even know that Sabrina and Maurice is in jail. So with Danny and Preston, they have their little thing. Preston's always talking like he's about to darn cry. Anyway, he confronts Danny at her job, saying that he's about to go propose to some girl he was dating, and that Danny needs to stop him if she wants to be with him. The whole thing is so stupid. Anyway, so Danny, of course, she doesn't know how to communicate with him and really let her feelings out. She lets him go, but then she gets deep down in her feelings about it. Like, girl, come on. And so she decides that she's going to have a hot girl summer. She hook up with this guy that she met at the airport. Hot girl summer at the airport. Take him back to her place. I think they go out for drinks before that. Take him back to her place, and she's not satisfied with the shortness of his stick that he got going on, and she lets it be known. And she's like, to me, she really disrespected him, talking about his parts and how it was shortcomings and everything. And he really gets upset about it, and he starts hitting her. It wasn't a reason to, but of course, it becomes very violent when he's like really beating on her and everything, and he hawks up spit and spit on her. So as soon as he gets up to leave, well, he's actually leaving. He's outside the building. She jumps up. She follows behind him. She jumps in her car, and he's in his car. She takes her car before he could take off, and she just rammed her. Excuse me. She rams her car into his car over and over and over again, making it flip over. It's like a movie scene. It was a mini movie scene. I was like, okay, wait a minute. Am I at a theater? Is this really a movie, or is this a series? What's going on? So she then goes to see Andy at Andy's office, and once she gets there, of course, she has her sunglasses on because he's whooped on her ass pretty good. And she's telling Andy that she needs someone to represent her because she believes she's killed somebody. So Fatima comes into the office to see what's going on, and then Fatima reaches out to her contacts because Fatima's just gangster with it. She knows everybody, knows how to do everything. So Fatima finds out that the ninja is all right, that he ain't been reported to no hospital or nothing, or no coroner office, so he all right. All right. So later on, they're still trying to figure out what's going on with Sabrina. Excuse me, I had a little cold. So Fatima introduces her cousin to Andy, and her cousin is a madam, and she has all type of ties. And one of her main ties is with a judge that frequents her business and everything. And so the madam is able to reach out to the judge to get information on Sabrina. And Andy is able to find out that Sabrina and Maurice are incarcerated, and they are being accused of robbing the bank. Okay. Excuse me. All right. All right. So once Andy goes down to the jailhouse to try to talk to Sabrina and see what's going on, she runs into the prosecutor that's on the case, and he turns out to be a little weasel that she was up against prior in a divorce case. Well, she was part of his divorce case. She represented his ex-wife, and she took him to the cleaners, so to speak, and he still is upset, and he has not gotten over the whole divorce proceeding, and that Andy was the person that represented his wife and really drug him through the mud. So he is hell bent on making sure that Sabrina goes down for this crime, even though Andy's telling him that she didn't do it, and he's not trying to hear that. He just sees Andy. He knows Andy, that Andy is Sabrina's sincere friend, and he wants to hurt Andy any type of way he can. So he's all about getting Sabrina sent up the creek, up the river for that bank robbery and everything. And so excuse me. Andy, she has to go back and talk to Robin, even though she had been avoiding Robin from the things that he said to her. He really hurt her feelings when he threw her in her face about the people she's been sleeping around with, and he said some unkind things to her. But Robin also, he was trying to apologize to Andy because he really cares about her. And Andy had got on the whole tip of, okay, if you want it to be business, it's just gonna be business. Don't call me to try to apologize, blah blah blah, things like that. But then it's a time that Robin does reach out to her, and she lets him know that she does need his help and that her friend is in a lot of trouble. So of course, Robin, trying to get back into Andy's good side, he decides that he's going to help her, and he reaches out to his contacts, and he finds out that Sabrina's bail is like over $3 million and everything. And Andy does not have all that money, so he agrees to let her have a loan, of some of it and everything. So after a while, Sabrina is released from jail. Her hair is all over the place and everything, but she's released. She's very upset when she gets out. She goes to Maurice's apartment because Kevin told her Q was there, and she knows that Q is the person that turned her and Maurice in. So she goes to Maurice's apartment, which was a terrible idea, screaming at Q, telling Q he needs to leave. And I'm like, this is such a waste of time. This is a waste of scene. I don't even know why we going through this. Anyway, she ends up picking up a golf club, start beating on him, and then of course he is a just he is just, I don't know, he's scum. So he hits her back and start beating on her, and then Kevin comes to her defense because he's madly in love with Sabrina. So he grabs a golf club too, or the same one, and he starts beating on Q. He's like really beating him, but Q, he's just laughing about it, and you can see that he's in aches and pains, but he's laughing like, I'm going to tell, this is just more evidence, I'm going to tell the police about y'all fools or whatever. And so Sabrina's telling Calvin to stop, and Calvin's trying to get Q to confess that he stopped them up. And then Sabrina's like, no, you can't do that, because it's like you're coercing him to do that. You can't beat him and tell him to say something. It doesn't go like that. So it was a hot mess. That really was a hot mess of a scene, I tell you. All right. So we see the prosecutor going to talk to Maurice, and he's telling Maurice that he needs to tell on Sabrina because Sabrina's trying to put the bank robbery on him. And so Maurice is like, he's not falling for that, and he know that his girl didn't do that, and he would never say that about her because she did not rob the bank, and he did not rob the bank. So they have that whole round and around with the prosecutor and with Maurice. All right. So let's see what else. All right. So of course, Hayden. He's still after Zach. So he's representing one of the ladies that came forward and said that Zach baby does belong to him. That her baby does belong to Zach, and she's gonna take him forever she can for child support. And so Zach, listening to Fatima, he has hired a attorney, and the attorney is working with Zach. And so she's telling him to get ahead of everything, like talk to the person and try to get something scheduled out with child support, and also the same thing with Karen if the baby happens to be his. But it's like Hayden would stop at nothing just to take down Zach. And so Fatima, she's trying to come up with her own plan. So she's reached out to her people to try to find the best gold digger, whatever you want to call them. I think she said a gold digger that can come and get with Hayden. And she wants this person to get with Hayden and just to find out all the information she can on him. And I guess she's going to try to take Hayden now some type of way. I don't know. So we'll see how that plays out. I don't think I missed anything. So we talked about Andy's situation with Gary. She's back messing with Gary, even though Gary's trying to take out Robin. Her and Robin still have feelings for each other. Robin does find out that even though he has bought part into the law firm, now there's some type of capital investment that everyone's doing, and it's where he's supposed to come up with $14 million, and he's kind of short, and he doesn't know how he's going to get the money. Which Annie does say she has maybe a solution for him, but it may be like, I think it was kind of to the extremes, whatever the solution is. All right, so we have Karen. Karen, she has confronted Zach and Aaron about her feelings. She did go to the doctor. She went by herself and she got a date. We didn't hear it, but she's saying that the date they gave her makes Zach the daddy. I don't know what to believe, but I guess, yeah, maybe it's Zach's baby. So she's yet to tell Zach and Fatima, But we do see that Zach, he's proposed to Fatima, even though she's not wearing her ring yet. They are engaged, and so Fatima, she wants her and Zach to talk to Karen. And I guess just to go ahead and make out a plan about how things are going to go if the baby is Zach or whatever. The baby is for Zach. So Sabrina, I guess she has that whole thing where she's trying to make sure she doesn't go down for the bank robbery. I hope they don't put her and Kevin back together. They're such an odd couple, and I'm like, okay, is Kevin gay or not? If you're gonna have him doing stuff, just make him gay and let that be it. So Sabrina won't be uncomfortable and we keep going back and forth to her girlfriends about what she should do. Okay? And what happened to the prince that came on the show? I thought y'all had put Sabrina with a prince. Make it make sense, like I said before. All right. So that's pretty much it. And that's a review of Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 5, Episode 1 through 10. I'm going to continue to review it as much as I can. I hope you guys did like my review. And please come back, check out more videos. Continue to have a great day. And I pray that you have a very, very great new year. Bye.